Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. Biden addresses the nation after America elects its 47th president. His message just ahead. And a federal judge strikes down a Biden administration ruling, what it means for undocumented spouses, coming up. Just ahead of Veterans Day next week, a new piece of history is now on display in the Crossroads.
And we are still expecting that next fall cold front coming our way overnight tonight, and another one coming our way next week, bringing some lovely weather tomorrow. And we're still tracking Hurricane Rafael. It's not coming our way, but we will have some impacts on our coast, and we're going to take a look at all that in the weather coming up.
And who will be this week's Athlete of the Week? I'll let you know here, coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us, Crossroads.
Yes, good morning and happy Friday. We've made it to the weekend. It's weekend time, Carolina. You know what that means for us? That means we get to sleep.
I have to work.
Oh, yeah.
I have a gig on Saturday.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm going to be working.
So
but it'll be fun. It's nice to work.
Oh, yeah. Can't go wrong with working.
And next week, I'm dog sitting for you.
Oh, that's right, she is. I'll be out of town next Friday.
Well, Parker, we'll miss you when you're out of town.
Of course, thank you.
But let's take a look at that forecast.
But what I'm sure a lot of people are missing, Carolina, is the fall weather because it's November 8th and we're still in the 70s for lows this morning. It's 72 degrees in Victoria. It's a little bit humid out there, actually very humid out there with the humidity at 100%, dew points matching that temperature. And with that level of humidity, you're likely to see some fog out there. Good news is this computer says 3-mile visibility. That would discern maybe some very light streaks kind of floating through the air. This visibility map says a 2.5-mile visibility. Got a half-mile down in Beeville. So if you do see any of that thicker fog on the roads this morning, especially in the areas where it's more grassy, more water transpiration is happening, or lower elevation, just be careful before that fog clears between 7:30 to 8:30. But why we're seeing the fog is because we got some more southeasterly winds, bringing all that humid air and warm air off of the Gulf of Mexico. But coming our way today or tonight and to tomorrow, that is all going to change. No more fog and no more 70s because the front is going to pass through us. I'm thinking pass through Victoria County sometime between midnight to 2 a.m. But before the front arrives, it's going to be one more warm day today. So if you're sending your kids out the door this morning, just be careful on the roads and then head back home. It's going to be a warm one. So we're going to look at that coming up next.
President Biden's highlighted the importance of a peaceful transfer of power in the wake of the 2024 election. In a Rose Garden address to the country Thursday morning, Biden congratulated President-elect Trump on his victory. Biden praised Vice President Kamala Harris for her historic campaign and congratulated her on the race she ran. The president also laid out his plans for his remaining time in office. President-elect Trump will take office in January with a Republican-controlled Senate. Now to racist texts sent to people around the country, telling them they've been selected to pick cotton. Many of the texts eerily specific and even called people by name.
As to who sent racist text messages to people around the country in recent days. Authorities in more than a dozen states say residents, including children, received texts from unknown numbers telling them they've been selected to pick cotton. Sam Burwell in Virginia got one and says he was shocked to see the sender knew his name.
First text I saw was somebody texting me, greeting me, first of all, greetings, and we will be there to pick you up for a cotton field.
It continues on with, be ready at 12 p.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched down once you've entered the plantation. You are in Plantation Group W. He said his cousin got a similar text, but with one difference.
I found it weird that in my text message, it had a different group number than his. And they both had our names.
Sharon McCombs of New Jersey says her text read, you have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Be ready with bags packed at 5:55 p.m. Our executive slaves will pick you up in a brown minivan. New York's Attorney General says some of the texts were targeting middle school, high school, and college students. The sender's numbers were visible. The Text Now Company, a service that allows people to create phone numbers for free, says it's aware of the messages and says it's shut down accounts of those involved. Law enforcement is investigating but says it's not clear if the source is domestic or foreign.
I feel like it's just a spam message, but I do feel disappointed about the message that they're sending a day after the election.
Attorneys general of the states affected say they're aware of the texts, and if you get one, you're asked to call law enforcement. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
A federal judge has struck down the Biden administration's parole-in-place policy. The Keeping Families Together program gave legal status to certain undocumented people who are married to U.S. citizens. It allowed them to work legally in the country as they sought citizenship. Biden issued the executive action in June when he was running for re-election. Previously, U.S. District Judge J. Campbell Barker had put an administrative hold on the regulation following a lawsuit. In Thursday's ruling, Barker said Congress had not given the executive branch the authority to implement the policy. We have an update to a death investigation we first reported on last month. Jackson County authorities arrested 39-year-old Jose Miguel Salazar in the death of his fiancée. She's identified as 24-year-old Jasmine Ramirez. It happened on Highway 59 near Edna. Authorities aren't releasing details on exactly what happened. The couple was from Victoria. Salazar was booked into the Jackson County Jail on October 17th. The Vietnam helicopter we've heard about the past several months is now at Patriot Park. The Huey helicopter, acquired by Les Weaver, a local Vietnam veteran, came to Victoria in September. A group of veterans moved the helicopter to Patriot Park Thursday to put it on display. The helicopter was first priced at $50,000. Weaver made an offer to buy the helicopter for $40,000. Chapter members express immense pride in the monument, emphasizing its importance in sharing their legacy with future generations and the community.
I thank God that I made it back, and my position over there was taking part of the Vietnam era has a lot of memories.
Huey the helicopter is now on display at Patriot Park, welcoming visitors to appreciate the contributions of local veterans. Remember, follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Let's get a look at our clock up here. It's just about 6:37 on our Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Veterans of Victoria are bringing in a replica of a National War monument.
Former President Donald Trump has announced his first hire as he prepares to return to the White House. I'm Christiane Cordero with the latest from Washington.
And also coming up next after the break in the full forecast, it's Friday. More importantly, it's Football Friday. We're going to look at that football forecast. And coming up later on Sunrise, we're going to continue looking at Hurricane Rafael because it's going to be real close, and we're still going to have some impacts on our coast. Well, good morning, Crossroads. You're looking live in Cuero. That sun's starting to come up. You can actually see some of the clouds out there right now. Otherwise, it's plenty warm and humid out there, with some of us still seeing a little bit of really light fog, so just be careful on the roads. But it's 73 in Cuero, and your dew point 1 degree off, bringing that humidity to 95%, so plenty humid out there, and that's pretty much giving us a little bit of fog out there this morning. So like I said, just be careful. But look at your future clouds under your radar for today. I do have rain chances today at 20%. I bumped that down from 40 to 20% because I'm still expecting there to be some showers out there, but I think it's going to be in the morning time where we're going to see some spotty showers out there. I don't think it was going to be that widespread coverage you just saw there, but here's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and then 10 a.m. As we go into the later morning and then the afternoon time, I think all the rain should be all said and done. Might be one shower still out there somewhere, but here's 3 p.m. And then as we go into the late afternoon and then the early evening, sometime around or after sunset, I think we're going to start picking up a few more spotty showers that are going to develop right ahead of the cold front that's coming our way overnight. That's going to bring us some more scattered showers overnight. I'm thinking right before midnight. But temperatures today, it's going to be one more warm day, like I said, before that front arrives. I'm thinking about 89 here in Victoria. Yesterday, we got up to 91 degrees for November 7th. That is incredible. But everybody else can see around the same thing in the upper 80s. Unless you're along the coast, I'm thinking mid 80s for the highs today. But it's Friday, and in football forecast today, the game of the week is going to be Calhoun Sand Crabs versus the Bay City Black Cats. And that's going to be in Bay City at the Memorial Stadium. Kickoff time. It's going to be a lovely game. I'm just going to go ahead and say mid and upper 70s, mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. And we're still expecting that front coming our way overnight tonight and another one next week. We're going to look at that in the tropics coming up next.
Last week we had the UHV women's soccer player Kylie Spree Kolash. And now this week we're going to change it up, going back to the football field. Linebacker Colton Judd, who had a career day versus El Campo last week. Here's sports reporter Ray Robinson with our Athlete of the Week.
For your Athlete of the Week, we're taking you to Port Lavaca, where our previous game of the week took place as the Calhoun Sand Crabs hosted the El Campo Ricebirds. We're also highlighting the other side of the ball and this athlete is a defensive stud. Calhoun senior Colton Judd made his defensive presence felt in that game, leading the team in tackles with 17 and 2 sacks.
Going into the game, we knew they were a really good team. We knew they were fast. Our whole team did really good. Offense did good. Our whole defense played their butts off. They were in the right place at the right time every time. So I'm able to lead my defense a lot better than last year.
Colton's leadership is one that defensive coordinator Alan Salina admires, along with Judd's skill on the field.
It's like having an extra coach out on the field is what it is. And, he leads the rest of the guys out there. Told the guys that it was all about how we were going to respond to certain plays and losing some battles out there, and they definitely responded the right way every time. So unbelievable out there.
Let's wish Colton and the Sand Crabs good luck in their district championship game taking on the Bay City Black Cats. Ray Robinson, KAVU TV 25 News Now, Sports.
Thanks, Ray. And again, props up there to Colton Judd for being this week's Athlete of the Week. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
President-elect Donald Trump has announced the first member of his administration as he plans his return to the White House. Susie Wiles, Trump's campaign manager, is now his chief of staff.
Today, Donald Trump is preparing for his return to the White House with his first hire by his side, campaign manager turned chief of staff Susie Wiles, one of Trump's most trusted advisors.
Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The Ice Maiden, we call her the Ice Maiden.
Wiles will be the first woman to hold the powerful chief of staff position. Trump calls her tough, smart, innovative, universally admired and respected. Trump is also moving quickly to crack down on illegal immigration. Sources tell ABC News one of Trump's first orders of business will be to rescind any Biden administration policies that expanded opportunities for migrants to live and work in the U.S., and that they're focused on how to carry out his promise of launching the largest mass deportation operation in American history. Sources say the operation would initially target undocumented immigrants who have committed crimes. The average cost of deporting one undocumented immigrant is nearly $11,000. One advocacy group claims a one-time mass deportation operation could cost $315 billion. President Biden addressing the election results, saying his administration will work with Trump's team to ensure a peaceful transition.
Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made.
But many Democratic leaders are already bracing for a fight.
To anyone who intends to come take away the freedom and opportunity and dignity of Illinoisans, I would remind you that a happy warrior is still a warrior. You come for my people, you come through me.
And California Governor Gavin Newsom called a special session of the state legislature to increase funding that would support potential legal fights against actions taken by Trump's second administration. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is getting ready for its journey to New York City. The 74 feet tall Norway spruce was cut down Thursday morning and loaded onto a truck in preparation for a trip to Manhattan. This is the first Rockefeller Center Christmas tree from Massachusetts since 1959. The tree will arrive at Rockefeller Center this Saturday, and the lighting ceremony will take place December 4th. During the annual Christmas in Rockefeller Center special. Veterans Day is right around the corner, and the veterans of Victoria are bringing in the Vietnam Wall. The wall is an 80% replica, of the one that's in Washington, D.C. It will be displayed at the Field of Honor on John Stockbauer and Salem Road. The wall consists of names from men and women who served and sacrificed their lives during the Vietnam War. Vets would meet up for a meal every year for Veterans Day, but decided that things should be different this year.
It means a lot to us to be able to honor the Vietnam veterans. That's what this is about. This is about the Vietnam veterans. And, there were over 58,000 of them that lost their lives. Their names will be on this wall.
The wall will be on display starting this morning at 8 a.m. Cushion also invites the city of Victoria to come out and celebrate with them. And that leads us to your Texas Tribune story that we have posted on our website. We have a story for you about zebra mussels and how zebra mussels and a Lake Texoma pump station spurred Texas to redraw its border with Oklahoma. You can learn more about this Texas Tribune article on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And join us Sunday for a 25 News Now at 10 special for off-season grind. It's a 25 News Now Extra with weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson. With football season winding down, what are athletes doing to stay in peak condition during the off-season? Join Ray as he teams up with a local athlete for a workout and learn more about the exercises that keep our teams in top form. That's on Sunday on 25 News Now at 10. And let's see, it is 6:46 at our clock up here in the studio on our Friday morning. And still to come, we get to catch up with a Crossroads doctor who traded his scalpel for a pencil. Okay, let's celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Demetria. Happy birthday to my beautiful best friend. Thanks for being such a sweet, kind, and genuine person. We love you. Love Nikki and Zakari.
Love that name too. Happy birthday, Demetria. And also celebrating birthday today, R&B singer SZA is 35.
SZA.
I think I said it right. SZA.
You said SZA.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me. SZA is turning 35 today. Happy birthday. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the home tab, and then you'll see submit your birthday photo.
Okay, let's look at our clock up here. Oh, I've got to look at y'all over here. It's 6:47 now on our Friday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today, or maybe you're celebrating one this weekend.
That's right, or over the weekend. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure everybody's excited for that next fall cold front coming our way overnight tonight. But if y'all are, get excited again because we're going to have another one coming our way going into next week. I'm thinking it's going to arrive on Wednesday night into Thursday morning, bringing us right back into the lovely. Well, we're going to look at those temperatures here. Starting out on Tuesday and Wednesday before that front arrives, we're going to still be plenty warm out there in the mid and upper 80s for highs, all thanks to that southeasterly Gulf wind, bringing all the warm humidity off of the Gulf. But here's Wednesday, and then that front comes through on Wednesday night, dropping our highs, I'm thinking down into the mid and upper 70s. That's pretty lovely nonetheless. This is the European model that thinks low 70s and upper 60s for highs. That would be much, much nicer if that's the case. But I'm thinking mid and upper 70s. But the good news is with those couple fronts, obviously it's good news because it's going to cool us off. But it's also good news it's going to keep Hurricane Rafael at bay out there in the Gulf. It's not going to come anywhere near us. But right now, Rafael is a major hurricane. It is strengthened back to a Category 3 with winds 120 miles an hour sustained. If I zoom in on it, you can actually see it's lost its eye wall. But I think over the next few hours, we're going to start seeing the eye wall redevelop. But as I turn back on the cone, you can see the Hurricane Center think it's going to do an entire loop-de-loop right there in the central Gulf of Mexico, and then it's going to start heading southwest because of the two cold fronts that are coming our way, and that's going to shunt it away. Now it will not be coming our way, but that does not mean that we're not going to feel any impacts because it's only going to be 300, 400 miles away from our coast. So we're expecting our impacts are going to be minor. They're going to be extreme, very high to extreme rip current risk. And there's also going to be some minor coastal flooding, inundations up to 1 to 2 feet. So if you're going down to the beach this weekend, make sure to look for those rip currents. And if you're ever caught in one, make sure to know the NOAA slogan, swim parallel and yell. But we're not fully done with hurricane season yet. We still have 2 areas out there in the Caribbean. We're going to continue watching all the way through the rest of November and hurricane season. We're going to look at that next week and more later on Sunrise.
From saving lives to shaping young minds, a former chief surgeon has made a remarkable career shift. 25 News Now anchor Shauna Curry takes a closer look at Dr. Yahagi's incredible journey from the OR to the classroom and the lasting impact he's having on the next generation.
For over a decade, Dr. Yusuke Yahagi was the chief of cardiothoracic and vascular surgery in Victoria, saving lives in the operating room. He and his wife moved away from the Crossroads for a short time to be closer to family. Then, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Dr. Yahagi decided to hang up his surgical gloves, but not retire altogether. Instead, he's found a new calling, inspiring young minds as a science teacher at Ganado High School.
If I can spread my knowledge and skills as much as I can to all those young people in a medical or any type of science, math, I'd be happy.
Though teaching isn't new to him, he's taught at the college and university level before. high school has given him a fresh perspective.
Not only that the academic roles as a teacher, but I want to get to know the students because I just want to interact with them. Makes me feel young.
In just 3 years at Ganado High School, Dr. Yahagi has built a strong connection with students, showing them his dedication.
To continue Dr. Yahagi's story, come to crossroadstoday.com or visit us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Just how much did the Internal Revenue Service collect from taxpayers last year? We learn more after the break.
So excited to host the CMA Awards again.
Nashville, here we come. Hang tight, honey, got a pocket full of money and I'm headed straight home to you. Lady, what are you doing here?
I'm hosting the CMA Awards with y'all.
Country music's biggest night is almost here. Join us for all the excitement live from Nashville. It's the CMA Awards right here on KAVU ABC 25.
Y'all ready to do this?
I can pull off bell bottoms.
Sure you can, buddy.
The Internal Revenue Service released its 2024 financial report this week. During the fiscal year, the IRS collected more than $5 trillion in tax revenue, more than $98 billion in enforcement revenue, and it distributed $553 billion in federal tax refunds. This year's tax revenue was an increase from the fiscal year of 2023. Last year, the IRS collected nearly $4.7 trillion in taxes. New Yorkers rallied against Donald Trump's deportation agenda on Thursday. With the second Trump administration just over 2 months away, New Yorkers gathered to protest the president-elect's promise of mass deportations. Many gathered in Manhattan holding signs that read, "Protect our communities," and "Immigrants are New York," among others. The protesters emphasized the importance of continuing to fight for equality for all New Yorkers, especially the undocumented. The Victoria County Veterans Council is putting on a Veterans Day parade starting at 10 a.m. on Monday in downtown Victoria. Crossroads residents are invited to show their gratitude to local heroes and to celebrate their courage. To learn more, call 361-652-0969. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And you can keep searching for that cold front. It's going to be headed our way later tonight. I'm going to let Parker tell us more.
Yeah, that cold front's going to probably arrive somewhere between midnight to 2 a.m. I'm thinking here in Victoria County, probably going to arrive a little bit later down on the coast. But down on the coast right now in Port Lavaca, we're at 75 degrees for November 8th low temperatures. The dew point matching that, bringing 100% humidity, so that's going to guarantee you're going to see a little bit of fog. I'm not really thinking there's going to be any thick fog out there this morning. That's the good news. If you do see any of that, it's going to be clearing between 7:30 to 8:30. But also, looking at your radar this morning, we've already got a couple spotty showers out there, and they're all concentrated in our eastern counties this morning, and I do think our radar is going to look like that. It's kind of spotty showers in the area for the rest of the morning time before all that cuts off in the afternoon time. But looking at our temperatures, all of us in the low or all in the 70s right now, but that's all going to change when that cold front arrives tonight. And that front's going to be coming off this gigantic upper level low trough. You can actually see it spinning right over the Rockies. It's actually bringing snow up there in the Panhandle and up there in New Mexico and other parts of that area, the Four Corners as well. But for today, one more warm day before that front arrives. 86 today in Port Lavaca. Spotty showers possible in the morning before it cuts off the afternoon. Same timing for the rain in Victoria. 89 though for the high today, and a little bit warmer in Cuero. I'm thinking about 90. Rain cutting off in the afternoon. But we've got, like I said, this last warm day, just one more, and maybe some more warm days next week before we have a couple fronts in the forecast.
All right, well, thank you, Parker, and thank y'all for joining us. Have a wonderful start to your weekend. Remember to follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join Shauna, Dawn, Mac, and Max tonight for 25 News Now at 5.